Hi Starseeds, it's Opheana and Sikaal here with part 8 to the Energy Body Tools series. We're cosmic shamans, teachers of universal consciousness, and part 8 is about your pillar connection.
Yes, the connection from your heart, grounding and anchoring into Mother Earth. What the connection there is it saturated? Are there a few holes? Are there some filaments that are pulled up from some different fears or beliefs, etc.?
Yeah.
And then also the percentage from your heart to source. And often we see, depending on the different personality types, sometimes it's safer to connect to source for them, sometimes it's safer to connect to earth, or are pulling in both ways, where you feel abandoned by source, too scary on earth, and you're like, what? That's why we really felt very guided to share the percentages here, because a lot of people are doing their pillar, but it's not 100%. It feels like it is, because when you do it, it does increase the groundedness, the feeling of groundedness, the safety. However, there can be more saturation here.
Yeah, what you'll notice is, especially with a lot of starseeds at some point on their journey, they maybe, a lot of them don't want to be here because it's such a thick realm, and you're like, I want to be with spirit, and then you're angry at spirit or your teams that you're here and you don't want to connect with them, so you chop your pillar off there, or confine your connection, and you don't want to be here on earth because it's such a dense realm, and so you tighten your pillar there and you let less flow there, and what happens is life becomes very constricted. It's harder to run the normal basics of life, like finances, relationships, happiness, love. Everything runs at a lower level, and it becomes more about survival rather than being happy and expanded, the true being that you are. So for those of you that are either new to these videos or haven't somehow come in connection with the pillar before, if you've done any meditations, we always start with the pillar. It's an expanding of your heart energy to 6 feet in all directions, in front, back, behind you, to the left, to the right, and then you take it down, this energy down to the core of Gaia, which is the first part of your pillar, and then up to source. So you're in your own tube of your own energetic signature. That's what we call the pillar. And so instead of just doing your pillar, with this energy body reading, you're going to get what is your percentage connection to source, up to 100%. What is your connection to Gaia? Now, these are numbers that we get, which you generally tend to achieve in your life. If you do an extra grounding meditation, you're going to be at 100%. If you do a meditation that opens you up to source, you're going to be at 100%. But then when you move on with your daily life and your normal way of thinking and being, that's when your percentages come back to what you normally manifest. Now, if we see lower percentages, like let's say in the 60s, you're really missing a lot of connection to either source or Gaia, and you're really living in a confined part of your energy. An analogy is, if you drive in your car and there's a really, let's say, a smelly truck in front of you, you can have this little, this lever or a vent that you can close with a button that allows you to circulate only the air in your car. That's how you're living. You're living in your own energy, and you're sort of recycling it without getting fresh input from source, fresh guidance from spirit, and fresh grounded energy from Gaia, and able to flow out your emotions and anything through your physical body. So what you want to try to achieve is 100% connection to source and 100% connection to Gaia at all times. Now, are there times where it's more difficult? Obviously. If you're out and about, or you're moving through a thick initiation and you're a bit scared, it's natural to pull up your pillar a little bit. Or if you're angry at source, or you just have let's say you've eaten a lot of junk food the night before, you're going to be less open to be able to connect clearly to source. So there's a lot of ways why that can temporarily happen, but if it's a fundamental issue that you're not connecting either to source or to Gaia, this is what you need to know, because then you can change it. You can look at, why am I not connecting to Gaia? Because I don't feel safe. I've never felt safe. Maybe you learn that your telepathic and empathic level is through the roof at a 6 or a 7, and that's why you're feeling everything from the world, and that's why you close everything off from the world. and you become a hermit and you never want to hang out with anybody and you're just living your own life. Why? Because you're not mastering who you are. And then you can learn to understand, well, if I learn to master my telepathic and empathic nature, which we've discussed in another part of this series, then you can ground more safely to Gaia and connect more to Source, let more spiritual guidance in, and you'll know more clearly what your next steps in life are, because Spirit will present the roadmap to you. So it's all connected, and so you need to know, am I grounded or not? Am I doing my pillar in a powerful way, up to Source, down to Gaia? Remembering, though, that the numbers you'll get is what you sort of manifest on average at this stage in your life.
Generally, yes.
Generally.
So the ones of you that are highly sensitive, and maybe you've received your reading and you might be 80%, 85% grounded from heart to Mother Gaia, that's going to create a feeling of unsafety, anxiety, not looking a little naive, not quite being able to do life in a stable, secure, empowered state. It really creates a bit of uneasiness, a little just not quite right, where you can see it in little kids when they're out of their element. They're not grounded. They need a stable, grounded pillar to assist them to feel safe in the world.
Yeah.
And so your system has learned to pull up from earth when you don't feel safe. And so if you do get a percentage that's not in either the high 90s or 100%, then it would be wise to be constantly working on your pillar several times a day, and it doesn't have to take very long. 3 breaths, really saturate down into Mother Earth.
Yes.
Welcome yourself to Earth. Do all of the meditations where you are cleansing the lower energy bodies, you are cleansing the lower chakras to feel safe on Earth, to have faith on Earth, to trust your process here on Earth, to master, like Sikaal said, your sensitivities and see them as powers rather than this, this hiding energy, because it's all, we live a bit of a hermitage lifestyle, but that's via choice, because we like a certain frequency and that's just how it is.
Yep.
However, if you are stopping yourself from living really the type of life that you want due to anxiety and fear, then that's a different matter. And so really daily, several times a day, working on your pillar. And we say saturation because you can see holes in people's pillars. There's certain sections where the base has damage in it, and there's like a block where you actually create your pillar around and it feels like you're fully grounded, but there's areas that need work. There's filaments that may need repair. There's a lot of beliefs that need to be dealt with. And it's the same from heart to source connection, where you need to work on those high, deep level beliefs that Source has abandoned me. My soul family has left me here. These types of deep seated fears and concerns that have been a part of many lifetimes as a starseed, where you have been in the earthly incarnation and you're just done with it, and you're like, well, I don't trust Spirit. I'm still here. This isn't fun.
Yeah.
This is not fun. And so Spirit is saying to you, I'm here. Connect with me and let us, with you, create the life on earth that you truly want, that you feel safe, that you love and adore yourself and others, the earth, nature, all beings, etc., etc. You can create a life that supports the type of being that you are. You don't have to be like anybody else on this earth. We certainly are not. Claim who you are, claim how you want to do your life and make it happen. And then you will find your pillar will just be, you'll be able to really ground that pillar. And if there are times, like Sikaal says, times of challenge, times of initiation, constant It's the key, constant, just like breath, just like healthy choices in all areas. The pillar is the key, number one, first spiritual tool to use to set up your energetic space, your connection to all that is. It's like the brain and the heart connection. It runs things, the nervous system in the body. You need it to be very stable to have all of your flows. Like Sikaal said, things can dam up. You get stagnation. So keep that very clean and clear and focused.
You know, and if you get your numbers, and let's say you have 85% connection to Source and then 85% connection to Gaia, just by logical reasoning, often you can start to figure out, well, why wouldn't I be more grounded to Gaia? It's often unsafety, or not wanting to be here are really big, or frustration that you're doing all the right things you feel, and you're asking for all the right things, and you're clearing your energy, and you meditate, and you do all the right things, but still you're not getting from the material realm what you are asking of it, whether that's money or a relationship or friends or family, whatever it is that you are after, it's not moving in the way that you want, so you get frustrated, which means you pull up your pillar. The same goes for your connection to Source, your connection to Spirit, your support teams, because you ask for what you want, and then if you don't get it in the way that you expect to get it, or in the time frame that you expect to get it, you get frustrated, and then you lock down from Spirit, and you're like, or I'll never be able to have my clairvoyance, I'll never be able to see in meditations, I'll never be able to this, so you get frustrated with that, and that's when you lock off a little bit from Spirit as well. But you must understand what you ask for, Spirit is bringing you, but often in different ways than you expect. And it asks of you to make steps, to let go, to make moves in different directions, and to see where you need to shift and move, so Spirit will bring you to the place where you have what you're asking for. So it's a deeper trust and faith that Spirit is bringing you everything you need, which will allow you to really allow all the energy to come in. Some of you as well are afraid of connections to your cosmic cousins due to many reasons, due to many lifetimes, other experiences. Start working on those. There's so many meditations that will help you to connect to different realms and to start letting go of your galactic and cosmic wounds, because that's another reason to sort of hold yourself at an 80% level, because you don't really want to fully go there, because you're afraid of negative beings, or one that you don't know what's happening and you can't really see, or you're not getting any guidance, so you don't feel safe. You got to trust your Spirit as well, and use the techniques that we've been teaching you in so many other videos and meditations. You use when you go out and do meditations, use your pillar and set up the temples and call in your teams. Then you're going to have a safe and happy experience. If you don't do that and just randomly go and connect to anything and everything, you might have some negative experiences for you to work through. So look at, why wouldn't I be connected to Source and my teams more, and why wouldn't I be connected to Gaia more? And Opheana said it a few times. A word that is super helpful is saturation. Allow your energy to really saturate and merge with Gaia. That will really be a very powerful way to increase that percentage for your grounding.
Yes, beautiful.
All right, that feels complete to me. Thank you so much, guys. We look forward to seeing you in part 9 of the series. See you next time.
Lots of love.
Lots of love and many blessings.
And grounding.
And Source connection. See you next time.